28.45. 28.45 I am using, and user selects the 28.45 and click on submit, and you can see it says 29 only, but that 45 is not taken. 45, that means the fractions are ignored. Why? Because the parsing method you are using, parse int, it will not use fractional parsing. Fractions it will round up to the nearest value. We want correct value. If you are dealing with fractions, then better use parse what? Float. If I use parse float, then you can see here I selected this and click on submit. It will give correct value. Otherwise, it will round up the value and keep it to the nearest. So whether to use parse int or to use parse float, that depends on what kind of value you are dealing. If you are dealing with fractions, then make sure that you are using parse float. If you are dealing with general integer, make sure that you are using parse int. This is very important. So we need to convert string into number. For that we have these two. So syntactically, just I am giving here, suppose var age is equal to 22, then here we are defining parse int. So, and we are using age. That is important. Later example I will give. For example, if it is price I am giving, and price is some 56.5, some 35, then it is also written like a quotes. That means it returns like a string. We need to convert by using parse float, and we need to define age. We have to define that. Technically, how you have to manage by using parse int and parse float. When to use parse int, parse float is depending on what kind of value you are dealing with. Now, example, roughly I will give this example. Here actually you don't need ID. Huh? I'm not using any ID, only age I will give, that's enough. I'm just using just 28. Okay, I don't need this ID, just age. Later we can work in different examples. This is example. I asked the age, and what age they selected, to that we will add +1 and display that, right? That's so this is a simple basic one to understand how to convert. This is example. Next very important question is, so how to prevent value type, how to prevent value type other than number. How to prevent value type other than number. That means this can be asked in another way. How to verify that value is not a number. How to verify that value is not a number? Because if anything other than number entered, we have to prevent. We should not allow to store. Then how to verify that value is not a number? So by using isNaN method. By using isNaN method. Actually it is not a number. It is not a number method. By using NaN. So whenever anybody enters a value, it is very important to verify whether it is a number or not. Otherwise problem will come, right? It's important. Actually, we can restrict numbers by using, if you remembered, we learned patterns. In JavaScript, we learned, in HTML, you learned patterns. We can use those patterns here. Suppose in a text box, user can enter only number. Then how you will prevent? Simple. We can put a pattern, and in the pattern, we can say /d. That means other than number, anything not allowed. We can put patterns. We can put patterns. That means it indicates that only one digit number is allowed. We learned it, how to prevent it. But generally, sometimes what happens is, after reading the value, we do some manipulations. After doing manipulations, one result will come. That result we have to send to our database. So before sending, we have to verify. When you are taking value from user, you can restrict. By using patterns, you can verify. But after taking the value, after doing certain manipulations, if you want to verify, is it still a number or not, then we have to use is nan. Is nan. For example, here in this program, before converting, age is not a number. That means now here I will write here. So one condition here. So if is nan, age, that means is it age? Because is nan will return true or false. If it is not a number, it is not a number. And here we will put an alert saying that, so please convert into number. So that is the message we are giving. Else we will put a message. So document.write. So document.write age is equal to whatever age is entered. Age is entered. But here, see the concept here. Observe. Now what you will find here is, I selected some 24 and submit. It submits. It submits. That means now it is not showing that it is not a number. Why it is able to do that? Because what is the, now remember here, another specialty here is, we are not doing any type of calculations, manipulations on that. We are just reading a value. If you are reading a value, and while reading the value, if it is only numeric value there, no calculations are done on it, then it can identify the numeric values as numbers. But when it is going to do some manipulations on it, then it will not convert it as number. While simple reading, it will verify, is it 0 to 1? If it is 0 to 1, any value, 0 to 9, any value, then it treats as a number. That means here, the point is, now what happens is, suppose I am writing here AA. So that means it is not a numeric value here. I selected it and submit. It shows alert. It says that this is not a number. But actually what you have learned previously, that this is also submitted as string. Submitted as string. But what is the ability here is, internally it can verify. It can verify that is it a numeric value or is it a string value. But it cannot do that while doing calculations. It can just verify whether it is a number. But in calculations, it will give a string only. That is the reason we have to convert into number. While only reading, you can simply use is nan. That means while only reading, it will take. But doing some calculations, it cannot. Only reading, it will read the numbers perfectly. But for calculations, it will not treat as numbers. It will treat as string. Even if it is a number, it will treat as string. That is the reason we have to convert that into a number. When we need to convert into number, when you want to do some manipulations. do some calculations. If you don't want to do any calculations, you want to just read, then while reading you want to verify, is it a number reading or is it string reading? You have to use this option. What is it? Is NaN. Is NaN. You need parsing only when you are trying to convert. Do some manipulations. Otherwise, you can directly read the values and use the values. So, is NaN is used for that. Is NaN is used for that. That means now, example, see here now. I am giving var, suppose age 22. I written like a string. Now, if I use is NaN age, is not a number age, what it will return? True or false? It will return false. Why it will return false? Because it is a number. Is NA means not a number. Is it not a number? It is a number only, na? It is a number only. In that case, it will return false. True will return if it is not a number. Not a number. That means, for example, now if var age is equal to, suppose A2, something like this. Now we return is NaN age. Now what it will say? It will return true. It will return true. It is not a number. That means if you are directly reading the value, it can read as number. But if you are doing some calculations, then it cannot treat as number. You have to convert that into number. For that, we have to use the options like parse int and parse string, parse float, right? So this is another important how to prevent and how to verify the value is not a number, not a number. This is while working with numbers. So we have these all important techniques to understand. Very important is NaN. Another one is parse int. Another one is parse float. Right. Next important. This is all about numbers. How we can deal with numbers. But here still some more points are there. Because when you attend at MNC level interviews, on JavaScript based some objective type questions will be given. Actually, MNC level UI developer interview means all objective based questions will be there in the first round of written test. All objective based. And how they give is, actually questions means question and answer. How they give is, for one question there will be a program syntax. They give a program syntax and they will ask, in this syntax, what is problem? So you have to find out the problem in that syntax. And sometimes they give a syntax and they will say, what is the output for this? Sometimes they give an output and they will ask, out of these 4 programs, which program will give that output? That is where people fail actually, because you have learned perfectly everything, but only the problem is consequences you can't understand correctly. If you don't learn the consequences correctly, then lot of issues will come. That means you learned the topic, but you need to also learn in various consequences how it works. For example, see here, means I will give you some hints like that. Here, see, suppose I am giving var x a equal to, suppose I given 20ab and var b is equal to 20. Now one is number, another one is string. I am using here, so here I am defining var c equal to parse int a plus b. Because b is already a number, we can directly use it. This is a string and we are trying to use it. Now, very important, what is the result for c? C equal to how much? C equal to how much? You see, this is 20 AB. So AB is not a number, na? But you are trying to use parseInt. That means convert this to number. Will it able to convert this AB also to number? That is the point here, right? Now, actually, in JavaScript, any value, when you are converting into number, and it is starting with number, and it may contain string also, it will be converted. It will be converted into number. That means even if it is having a string, it will be converted into number. And up to where, until the string comes. Once string comes, it will stop conversion. That means it will convert this 20 into number. That means now what will be the result of this? The result of this will be 40. Understood? Now see how many people failed. Everybody failed in the answer, right? That is why here you need to know the consequences. So for example, see now, I will show you this now here. Let's see now here. I am using that. I am giving it. So script, I am writing like this, where AB, 20 AB and all these options. Now what happens here? What is the point? Any string starting with a numerical value can be converted into number. Understood? Any string starting with a numerical value can be converted into number. Up to which point it will convert? Up to the string occurrence. Once string starts, it will stop. That means this 20 can be converted into number. It will avoid others. Then parseInt A is able to convert this into number. That means it will be how much now? 20. 20 plus B, how much? 20. That means C is how much? Document.write C is equal to how much? 14, right? That means it is going to return that result. That is the result. So that is the reason. See, even people think that I know JavaScript very well. These are simple things. Addition, subtraction, these are all very simple things. From school days I have learned. But you will fail in interview. But you will fail in the test. That is the reason people ask like, sir, I know everything. Sir, small questions, silly questions given, sir. They given very silly questions in MNC level interview. I thought that they will give very complex questions. That means they are unable to reach your level in questions. You think like that, but all answers you given gone wrong, right? You think that these are very simple questions. That means all gone wrong, right? These kind of consequences will be there. So many will be there. For example, now, if it is AB 30 or 40, now it is unable to convert. That means any string can be converted into number. Any string can be converted into number only when it starts with a number. Now, what is the result of this now? What is the result of this now? What is the result of this? What is C equal to? C equal to, it is unable to convert this into number. It is not a number, na? If anything with not a number, you are doing some calculations, it will return not a number only. If it is not a number and you are doing any calculations, then it will return not a number only. Understood? Anything which is not a number and you are doing any calculations with it, it will return not a number. That means the result of this will be not a number. Not a number. These are very important to understand. That means conversion of a string into number is possible only when it is starting with numerical value. It is not like converting into ASCII codes. This is only conversion of number, not its codes. These are not character codes. This is just number to number conversion, string to string conversion. And parseInt, parsefloat cannot convert a string. They can convert only numbers. And if it is starting with numerical value, it can do. If it is not, then it returns. So here, what is the result of C? The result of C is how much? 40. Suppose if it is, if var is equal to, var A is equal to AB 20, AB 20, then what is the result of C now? The result of C will be NaN, means not a number, not a number. These are very important. While converting this, both can be there, both can be there. For example, suppose I defined like this. So another option I will give here. Suppose I am giving like this, where A is equal to 20 AB and where B is equal to XY 50 and where C equal to, so A plus B, then what is the value of C? It will be 20 AB XY 50. Understood? Because we are not doing any conversions, na? We are not doing any conversions. Sometimes you people immediately will say NaN, right? Because here we are not using any conversions. If we are not using conversions, this plus is concatenation, combining. It is combining. Now, if you are converting here, that means if C is equal to parseInt A plus parseInt B, right? So then what is the result? C is equal to how much? C is equal to how much? Right? So yeah, C equal to how much? NaN, because one not a number, na? Right, is NaN. For example, if it contains like this, that means suppose if it contains, so 50xy and A plus B. So that means C will be how much? So if you are parsing, suppose I will use parsing, huh? Yeah, I will use parsing also. Then parseInt A and parseInt B. Then what will be the result? So the result will be 70. Good, right? That will be 70. Now, if C is equal to parseInt A plus B, then what will be the result of C? We are not parsing. What will be the value of C? What it will be? So here one more point here is important. Here is you converted this, but you are not converting this, right? That means it is a string. It is a string. You converted this, then it will be how much? 20, and you are not converting this and you are adding it, then how much it will be? 20, 50 XY. So here you see now, I'm just giving like this. Let me copy this. I'm defining in this way, and here we will not use parse for B. I will just use B, and document.write I will use C is equal to plus C here. the value of C we are printing. You see 20, 50, XY. Because you are not converting this. If I am converting this parse int, so then what it will be? It will 70. Right? That is the basic consequence you need to understand. These are all very important here to handle. So now we can see these are the various techniques of defining the number type and configuring the number type, right? These are all related to numbers. Now next important after this, we need to understand about the string type that we'll see in our next session. Tomorrow we will do that. And from tomorrow onwards, even online also, because now everybody set with these timings and all, and the application we are using, from tomorrow onwards, we will start by 4:15, 4:20 class. The link also will be ready by 4:15, and from tomorrow onwards, you can log in and you can start. We will start the session by 4:20. Okay. So, because now all are set with this, they will be sent with the link before the class begins. Immediately they can log in and join. Okay. From tomorrow, we will start the session sharply by 4:20. Okay. So we will spend more time now and we will discuss other things. Tomorrow we'll continue.